Oh, listen, George.
He's gone.
Who's gone?
The private detective.
Where is he, George?
I don't know.
You can't just go and lose a dead body.
I haven't done anything. He's just vanished.
He's back where he was an hour ago.
Willie, I promise you, the last time I saw him, he was sitting in that wheelchair.
George, then somebody's on to us.
On to us.
Why should anyone stick him back there?
No.
George, I smell blackmail. Why do you think we have found him here?
No.
It's back to plan A.
What is plan A?
Hyde Park.
But, Mr. Willie, somebody is on to us.
And what? Oh,
I don't know. What about... What about plan B?
what's plan B?
Tell the truth.
Are you mad?
Well, a lot of people do. It does happen, actually. And it's quite simple as well. You and Miss Worthington found a dead body. That's all.
Think of poor Mr. Worthington. He's in such a state, he would probably chuck himself over the balcony. There's something missing. Sunglasses.
Mr. Willie!
That would be another sign from the blackmailer. I reckon we get a note next.
A note?
Demanding money.
But, Mr. Willie, if somebody is on to us... He might follow me to Hyde Park.
And that's a chance we will have to take.
Or will we?
Mr. Willie,
Yes?
this is for you.
What is it?
A note.
No.
That's right.
And who's it from?
Me.
You.
That's right.
For supplying one wheelchair, £10.
Your brother's taken a turn for the worse, hasn't he, Mr. Bigman?
Yes, poor Fred passed out.
It was all the dancing that did it.
Very likely.
As a matter of interest, why has he changed into a wedding suit?
He's going to a wedding.
Is he? He's already been to yours today.
He's going to his other brothers now.
Have you got another brother?
Yes, Bert.
And Bert is having the wedding ceremony at the same day as him?
Yes, George and Bert are twins.
Oh my God.
It's a bit late to be having a wedding ceremony, isn't it?
Well, it's performed in conjunction with Midnight Mass.
Really, I still can't find a picture of my wife anywhere.
Good evening, sir.
Who the hell are you?
The richest woman in this hotel.
They're hiding somewhere.
Ronnie, why don't you go home, sleep on it, and sort it out in the morning?
I'm going to sort it out right now, starting with George Bloody Pigeon. in the wheelchair?
Oh, just somebody's brother. Mine. Harrington Willie. Poor Harrington. Brains completely gone. Doctor is with him permanently.
Well, kind of forget other people's problems when you have your own.
You know, Ronnie, you go home. Mrs. Worthington has been faithful to you. I just know she has. And when you come home, just stand next to her and say, I believe in Willie.
Mr. Willie,
I'm busy.
I would like to remind you most forcibly that when you booked into this hotel, you intended to depart immediately for the House of Commons.
Something popped up.
No doubt! But I'm sure it's now been dealt with, so nothing further need detain you or Ronnie.
You take that attitude with me?
I think Benji's got the point, Ronnie.
Well, she shouldn't allow the hotel to be used for adultery in the first place.
Adultery?
Mr. and Mrs. Bloody Pigeon opposite.
Well, Mr. Pigden's got a lot to answer for.
Bloody well has.
I've just told him I want a full explanation for the damage done in 650.
Have you just been talking to Pigeon?
By the lift.
Bloody
No, Ronnie, wait! Now look at what you've done.
I also told Mr. Pigden I want him and his wife out of my hotel immediately.
Mrs. Pigden's gone, and Mr. Pigden is on his way. You've ruined their honeymoon, you know that.
And another thing, why is Mr. Pigden pushing his brother around the hotel in a wheelchair?
To get some fresh air. For Fred, not for him. Fred came very unwell, so George is pushing him home.
To Felixstowe.
No, Lewisham.
Mr. Willie,
What are you doing here? You're supposed to be on the way to Hyde Park via Lewisham.
he's risen.
Who's reason?
The fellow in the wheelchair.
What?
The fellow in the
You mean
wheelchair.
your brother, Fred?
Would you leave us alone, please? What?
He stood up.
Who did?
The fellow in the wheelchair.
He can't have done.
Well, why on earth not?
Please. What happened?
Well, I was about to push him to the lift and he stood up.
Well, Fred was only inebriated, surely.
What did you do?
I ran like hell.
What did Fred do?
He went down with the lift.
Oh, really? He'll probably be sick all over reception.
Do you realize if he is alive, he will be able to verify everything about me and Miss Worthington? Just, by the way, have you met Ronnie in the corridor?
Yes, he looked very cross.
You're right there. He's looking for George Pigden.
I know.
And he thinks you are Dr. Livingstone.
Dr. Livingstone?
Never mind. I'm trying to get to the detective. You just stand here, and if Jack Baker returns before I do,
Who's Jack Baker?
our private detective, just keep him in here.
Right.
And if Ronnie returns before I do,
Yes?
God help
Coming.
Hello, John.
Mrs. Willie.
Well, this is a pleasant surprise.
Mrs. Willie.
What are you doing here, George?
Mrs. Willie.
Shouldn't you be at the House of Commons with Richard? Or at home with your mother?
Well, I came over
Came over what?
here
Yes?
to help Mr. Willie. He left some papers in the suite, so he sent to me. He, House of Commons, me, suite 648.
Yes. I expect Richard's up to his eyes in it, isn't he? Well, darling, you have had a long day, have you, George? Well, there is nothing wrong, is there?
No, no. Who is it?
Room service.
Room service.
I found this going up and down in the hotel. I thought you might need it after all.
No, we won't need it after all. It just left me with a bit of a limp. Right, see? I'm much better now. I feel fitter than I have for years. Right? Right. Here. Thanks for your trouble. Where were we, Mrs. Willie?
Have you had a fall or something, George?
Yes, I fell off one of the Parliament backbenches. Mrs. Willie, I thought you were in the country.
Well, I was, but I decided to drive up and give Richard a little surprise.
I suppose it will be a big one, actually. So, you just want to say a quick hello to Mr. Willie and then go back to the country, right?
Oh, don't be silly, George. I'm staying the night.
Tonight?
Yes, the night.
No, I mean, Mr. Willie's got an all-night sitting, and...
I know. But I decided I wanted to hear him speak tonight. But tell me, how is the government getting on, by the way?
What government?
Oh, in the debate.
Oh, that government. Right. Fine. Limping nicely.
Well,
Yes.
I can either go to the Commons and watch Richard from the visitors gallery.
No, you can't do that.
Well, fine, I can stay here with some sandwiches and a glass of wine and watch debate on TV.
No, you can't do that either.
But why on earth not?
Because it's much quieter next door.
Next door.
Yes, suite 650. It's mine.
Yours.
Yes, mine 650.
Well, are you staying at the hotel as well?
Yes, it's a treat from Mr. Willie. Come on.
What do you mean with come on?
Come on, the two of us. We might never get another chance like this. To make mad, passionate love.
Mad? Passionate?
Love, Mrs. Willie. Gosh, you're lovely. I know exactly how you feel. Don't fight it, Mrs. Willie. No. Safer to use the window. Yes, we don't want to bump into anyone, do we? Quickly, Mrs. Willie.
I don't. My nighty things.
You won't need your nightie with me.
Yes, I will.
Right, but we are wasting valuable time.
Come on. George, you think this is utter madness?
Oh, I bloody well do.
I can't find the damn detective and no! George? George? George! No! Why haven't you left?
Well, I got lost. I went down the fire escape like you told me,
Yes.
but I got out on the rock floor
Jesus.
and Ronnie saw me.
Ronnie.
Yeah, but it's okay. I managed to slip away. So, Mr. Willie, what have you done to the dead body?
When last seen, he was taking the lift down to reception. Our dead detective isn't dead.
No, dead.
No. Although if he meets Ronnie, some of us might be. You just go down and don't get lost this time. I'm trying to get to the detective before Ronnie does, alright? Oh!
Oh?
May I be of any assistance?
Well, to tell you the truth, I'm not sure. Well, it seems a little bit silly, really. I seem to have lost my memory.
Oh, my dear fellow, do come in. Lost your memory? How very distressing.
Yes, I can't even remember my name.
That is terrible.
Or what am I doing in this hotel?
That is awful.
And I've got a splitting headache. Ah!
Well, you mustn't go wandering around the hotel in this kind of condition. Certainly not. You might bump into anybody. I mean anything. Just lie down and put your feet up.
Very kind.
Always ready to give you a helping hand.
From this point of view, there is something about this room, though. We don't know each other, do we?
Never set eyes on you, sir. But don't worry. When my colleague returns, he will be able to assist you. He's a doctor.
A doctor? That's lucky.
Yes, isn't it? A neurologist. Ah, here is the very man. I was wondering where it got to, Dr.
Don't
Livingstone.
show him, Mr. Willie. The most devastating thing has happened.
First things first, Dr.
She's
Livingstone.
waiting for me next door and she thinks I'm going to make Mary.
Dr. Livingstone.
Dr. Livingstone?
It's all right, Doctor. This poor fellow seems to have lost his memory.
Have you?
It's crazy. I don't even know who I am.
Oh, that's terrible.
He can't recall what he's doing in this hotel either.
But I seem to remember something about this room, though. And that window.
Oh! You should put the patient to bed, Doctor.
Very good idea.
In the suite next door.
That's not such a good idea.
But this room is getting pretty crowded, Doctor.
But it's getting pretty crowded next door.
I don't quite follow you, Doctor.
Well, that's what I was trying to tell you. I'll explain when I put my patient to bed in this way.
Fine.
Come on.
He's given me the slip and I still can't find Pigeon.
6:50. Pigden might have moved back in.
6:50.
No. Mr. Pigden's not there.
He might be.
No, he isn't.
He may be there. It's better for Ronnie to keep trying.
No, I was with Mr. Pigden just 5 minutes ago.
Where you?
Yes.
And where?
In the hotel indoor swimming pool.
Swimming pool?
Yes, we were doing a few legs together.
Give him a few lengths.
Hey! Hang on a second. Have you ever seen me before?
Yeah, you're Arrington, Mr. Willie's crazy brother.
Your crazy brother, Harrington.
You see, it's like this.
We are brothers!
Yes, we are. Don't worry, Doctor. Harrington's just a bit confused. I put Harrington to bed. You just guard it in here in case anyone shows up.
Mr. Willie.
No, first I need to put Harrington to bed.
You're very kind.
That's what big brothers are for.
Who is it?
It is the maid. Scusa, signor. Make bed now.
No, the bed's occupied. And the bed might as well.
Want a biscuit?
Well, that makes two of us. Oh my God. Mrs. Willie, I told you to stay next door.
What's taking you so long? I ordered champagne.
Mrs. Willie,
Champagne and oysters!
Well, they're for sweet, $6.50.
I know, but that's empty, so I reckon we all need here.
take it next door.
Right, shall I go the way I came?
Yes.
Are you on the grown side or on the bright side?
I beg your pardon?
Just do as you're told, please.
Now, come on.
Mrs. Willie, but I'm a bit worried about Mr. Willie.
George, it's an all-night sleeping beauty to come on, steal breakfast time.
He might pop in, pop over. Mrs. Willie, are you all right?
Well, what a kiss, George.
Mrs. Willie. Coming. Come here, Mrs. Willie. Right. All right, all right.
So, what have you got to say for yourself, Mr. Pigden?
Nurse Foster.
Your poor mother's worried to death, you know that.
Nurse Foster.
I'm surprised at you, really I am. You've always been so reliable until today.
Nurse Foster.
And what you mean by getting married without telling anybody? Your mother's in the right state, I can tell you. And I promised her I won't leave this hotel until I get some sense out of you.
Please, Nurse Foster, tell Mother. I'll explain when I get home. Yeah.
Nurse Foster wants an explanation now. What a kiss, George. Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong room. Was that your new wife?
No, that was Mr. Willie's old one.
You mean that was your minister's wife?
Yes.
She said, what a kiss. George,
It was something like that, wasn't it?
how many women have you got here?
I've lost count. Nurse Foster, please. Mr. Willie's likely to come any minute, and so is everybody else.
So, where is this bride of yours then?
She's not my bride. She's one of the secretaries over there.
One of the... What have you been doing, Mr. Pigden?
I've been doing my best for everybody, Nurse Foster. Now please go home to Mother.
Not without you.
All right then, come next door.
Next door?
Yes, sweet 650. It's mine.
What on earth for?
To make mad passionate love.
And passionate?
Love, Nurse Foster.
Mr. Pigden?
Gotcha, lovely.
Have you gone mad?
Yes, you've driven me there. Don't fight it, Nurse Foster.
Who's fighting it? I always knew there was more to you.
Well, there isn't much of it left now, though.
But what about Mrs. Willie and the secretary?
Well, who cares about them now that you've turned up?
Come on!
No. We always use the window. Yes, it's much safer. You go first, and then I'll take my clothes off, and I'll come to you along the balcony.
Oh, George!
I want to be all naked and alluring. Quickly, Nurse Foster.
Well, I think you can call me Gladys.
Gladys. Why? Oh, yes, Gladys. Hey, Gladys, don't lean in like that.
Why?
Oh, George, you've been wasting yourself all these years. Mrs. Willie.
Are you coming in to join me, George?
No, Mrs. Willie, you need to get home.
Just lie there and relax, Harrington. Lie there and relax. George! George! Who is it?
Room service.
What do you want?
Sign, please.
What's this for?
Champagne and 3 dozen oysters, sweet 650.
I didn't order that.
No, Mr. Pigden did.
Mr. Pigden.
Yes.
No, he didn't.
He did, I tell you.
He can't have done.
He did.
You've made a mistake.
No, I haven't. Sweet 650.
George! What are you doing?
Coming out of the closet.
And what were you doing there?
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
Silly fool, and did you order champagne and oysters for 6.50?
Yes.
And why?
Seemed like a good idea.
Shut up!
Here, it's taking you a long time to get wrecking on your honeymoon, isn't it?
Yes.
And what's another one, the mother-in-law?
Yes.
Could I ask you a little favor?
Lovely.
Could you supply me with sleeping pills?
Sleeping pills.
For your brother Fred. He's starting to remember too much.
I'm sure one of the chambermaids will have some.
The stronger, the better.
Said and done.
Pigden?
Don't you think you're going through my salary as well?
The night is young.
Mr. Willie, I need to tell you something. Mrs. Willie.
Mrs. Willie.
Mrs. Willie.
What about Mrs. Willie?
She's in the cupboard.
Pamela is in the cupboard.
Yes, in her nightie.
Pamela is in the cupboard in the nightie.
Yes.
Drinking a cup of cocoa, I suppose, no?
No.
Then what is she doing in the cupboard in her nightie?
She's waiting for me to get all my clothes off.
Hello, Miss Foster. I can handle it. You tell Mr. Pigden's mother. He will be at her... What? Well, when you are not at home, where are you then? What is Miss Foster doing in 6:50?
She's waiting for me to get all my clothes off.
Then what?
She's expecting me to make mad, passionate love to her.
Well, Miss Foster, I believe this service of yours is provided on national health. I suppose champagne and oysters were for Miss Foster.
No, they were for Mrs. Willie. I've tried to tell you, Mr. Willie.
Richard, I have had such a bang.
She had a bang on her head.
I don't need to know the position, Peter.
She was hit by the window.
So, was that before, during, or after?
She just wanted to give you a little surprise, that's all.
Oh, she's done it all right.
Sleeping pills.
I'll deal with it later, Peter. Do the honors, will you? And we will not be requiring your services anymore tonight. Thank you.
You never know your luck.
Mr. Willie!
Don't go away!
Miss Worthington, your husband's still on the rampage.
So is the Prime Minister, Mr. Willie!
I don't think there is a room for the Prime Minister here.
What happened, Miss Worthington?
Willie, the debate is really getting out of hand. The entire house is in an uproar.
What happened?
Well, the Prime Minister was getting flustered, and then one of the backbenchers stood up and said, "Too bad the Prime Minister's lapdog is not in the house to protect him."
Lapdog!
That's you, Mr. Willie.
Well, obviously, the Prime Minister noticed you were not there, and he got really angry, Mr. Willie. Steam started coming out of his head.
Things are starting to hot up now, aren't they?
Be quiet!
Mr. Willie, I really shouldn't be here. If Labour knew I was here warning you, I'd be out of my ear.
You are a dear, sweet girl. We'll both go.
No, Mr. Worthington, you go first. Mr. Willie will be there in 10 minutes, but first, he needs to handle something here.
George!
I have remembered why I came to the Westminster Hotel. Oh, it's gone again.
Just go to the bedroom and relax.
Mr. Willie, what is the private detective doing in your bedroom?
Don't worry, George is dealing with him.
Is your brother Fred a private detective?
Go away.
Go and give your brother those pills, will you, Doctor?
But, Mr. Willie, I'm more worried about who you're going to handle.
We're all worried, George. I'll just make a brief speech, chuck in a few insults, and be back in 10 minutes.
But the world could end in 10 minutes, Mr. Willie.
I know you, young lady, don't die.
Hello.
I know I have seen you somewhere.
Of course you have seen her. She is married to Dr. Livingstone.
You, are you sure my name's not Jack?
Positive.
But Billy doesn't seem to fit either.
Bloody hell.
Bus off.
And you know, Richard, it's just a damn strange feeling. But I just don't feel as though I'm your brother.
Is Mr. Willie's brother?
Go and give Harrington those pills, will you, Doctor?
Harrington?
Go and give Harrington those pills, will you, Doctor? I'll be back as soon as I can.
Mr. Willie, I'm more worried about who's going to handle this.
We're all worried, George. Just stay with the patient until he drops off. All right, Doctor?
All right.
Richard, I have no strong feelings about the doctor either.
Well, I've got a strong feeling about a lot of people.
Then clean out the cupboard and bet in 650, all right?
Mr. Willie, how can his brother be your brother as well?
We all had the same mother. But Fred, George, and Bert had a different father from me.
Just a second. Mr. Pigden, what's your relationship with Mr. Willie then?
Very strange.
Just stay with the patient until he drops off and do as I told you. All right, Doctor?
Yes, but I'm really glad that Bert, Fred, and me had a different father from you.
No! It's Ronnie!
We know.
It's probably one of the good guys or the bad guys.
Oh, he's the worst!
Come in!
Don't open the door!
Good evening, sir. Are you looking for the hotel swimming pool?
I fell into the hotel.
Then I'm sure you're staying because it's for the hotel guests only.
Where's Mr. Willie?
He just left a moment ago.
Well, I didn't see him.
Yes, he took the usual route through the window.
Well, I'm looking for his secretary, George Pigeon.
Mr. Pigden was here as well a moment ago.
In this room.
Yes.
He have a young woman with him?
Yes, indeed he did. His new bride.
You bride!
Funny thing. Vignes and Mr. Willie all seem to have disappeared at the mention of the name Ronnie. If I bump into them, should I say who called?
Yes. Ronnie.
Ronnie, right. Ronnie!
What the hell is it?
Just hang on a second. Oh dear, oh dear. The bad guy's bigger than us.
Thank you. Oh, by the way, there's a lady in the cupboard. Yes, in a nightie.
Oh, she's your mother, isn't she? For eliminating one bad guy, 10 pounds.
Oh, my bloody head! Bloody swine! Pigeon! Of course, Pigeon's home address. George Pigden, 25 Temple Avenue, Wimbledon.
Ronnie, what are you doing?
Going round to Pigeon's house.
I'm not home. I mean, he's not home. He's at the swimming pool, remember?
The only one who's been to the swimming pool is me. He's not a punk, the crafty devil.
No, Ronnie, please, don't go. You can't go. Let go of me, but I'm
If you don't leave, I'm calling in our security officer and having you removed in handcuffs. And if Ronnie doesn't vacate the hotel
I'm
immediately.
vacating it, all right?
No!
I've got it. Baker. That's my name. Baker.
You said he's gone.
Go back to bed.
He's not staying here. You have another wedding.
I've been married to Mrs. Baker for 5 years.
I'm getting security.
You mustn't mind old Harrington.
I don't give a damn about Harrington. No, it's Baker. It's Jack Baker. Jack Baker? That's me. Wait a minute, this bloke's me private detective. What the hell happened to him?
Nothing untoward as far as I know.
You are Ronnie Worthington.
I bloody know who I am!
Mrs. Worthington.
Do you know where my wife is?
My patient should really be in
Don't
bed.
keep quiet, Dr. Livingston.
Where is she? I can see right, I'm a double.
Where is my wife?
Window.
My wife went out of the window.
Window. Yes. I remember everything now.
First, I'm going to find Giant, and I'm going to drag him around to Pigeon's house.
There's no need to fear, Ronnie.
I'll have it out with both of them.
Well, in that case, just hang on a second.
Bloody hell.
I told you to stay next door.
I found these clothes in a neat pile at the foot of the bed.
They are Mrs. Willie's, thank you.
meat, fowl, and food under the bed. I trust Mrs. Willie's leaving.
Definitely.
And what about the secretary?
She's already left.
Who's that?
Him, he goes with the suite. Go, Miss Foster, please go. Just go. Just go. Miss Foster, you're all right. Come on.
Oh my goodness. What happened, George?
And the usual.
What a kiss, George.
I got it!
Shut up! Who is it?
It's me, for God's sake, open the door!
Okay.
Look, the debate is going disastrously for the government over there.
But the things have been going disastrously over here.
What the hell is this?
That's Nurse Foster.
You don't hang about, do you? Ah! You know,
Mr. Willie?
Why isn't he in bed?
I don't know.
How many pills did you give him?
One?
One pill?
No, one bottle.
Have you seen my wife home?
No, she's still in the cupboard. And Ronnie fell into the swimming pool and the manager went to call the security.
Ah,
All right.
out you come, Pamela.
In you go, Gladys.
Good evening, teacher.
Good evening. Just dress into this and go home, please.
Who is that?
That is George's brother, Fred.
Well, I didn't even know George is a brother.
Yes, Fred came in to see George before he goes to Felixstowe to see Bert. That is George's other brother.
You've got two brothers.
Well, I've got three actually, but I'm not talking to the third one.
What's happened to Fred?
Oh, Fred just had too much alcohol at George's morning wedding.
George is what?
Yes, George got married this morning, didn't you, George?
I suppose I did, yes.
Well, you sly old thing, George. So, what's your bride's name?
Felixstowe.
What?
He met her in Felixstowe, Ivy. Her name's Ivy.
Well, Ivy doesn't seem to be very vegetarian. So, where exactly is the lucky lady?
I don't know.
He doesn't know where exactly Ivy is. They've been rocking around playing hide and seek.
Hide and seek.
Come on, just put this on and go home, please.
She's here with the bloody slip again.
Mr. Worthington, do you mind?
Yes, I do bloody mind.
Richard, who is that?
Never mind who I am. You better pull yourself together. Can't you give him something, Doctor? Why, Dr. Livingston? I've got it.
Shut up!
You better wake him up. I need him for me evidence.
Evidence?
Where's my wife hiding?
Now, Ronnie and his wife are playing hide and seek too.
Who exactly is Ronnie?
Ronnie is married to one of Ivy's cousins.
Oh. Because George got the Livingstone.
It was something like that, wasn't it?
And why did he do that?
Why did he do that?
Because that is who I am, Dr. Livingstone, the brother of Bert and Fred, and the half-brother to Tricky Dicky.
God, no, where's my wife?
It's not all that serious, is it?
Oh, that's serious.
It's only a game.
Only a guy, Mr. Will.
Yeah. You have a good cry, Ronnie.
I think that's what we all would like to do now.
Well, get Ronnie a drink, George.
George?
Yes, Let Mr. Pigden here get you a drink.
Are you George Pigden?
I beg your pardon.
Are you bloody George Pigden?
Bloody George, yes.
He's destroyed me, Jane!
What? No, I think it's a phrase used in carpentry.
It's a phrase used in the Westminster Hotel. He's the one who's been trying to get to bed with me wife.
Mr. Worthington, I can assure you I've been trying no such thing with anybody's wife.
No. Oh, I suppose George would even stop at having an affair with his wife's cousin.
Look at wife's cousin.
Yes, your wife is one of Ivy's cousins, isn't she?
Ivy?
Yes, you are Ronnie Worthington. That explains everything.
Does it?
Of course! Tell him, George.
Well, Ronnie, your wife has got a mother, doesn't she? Yes. Right. And I suppose your wife's mother has got a sister who's got some other children, and one of them is a daughter called Ivy, who got married today to me.
I don't get it.
It's all very simple. George invited your wife to join a wedding ceremony.
Why wasn't I invited?
It was his close family, Ronnie.
I'll better sort it out with Jane.
Who is Jane?
No, your questions, please.
Jane is Ronnie's wife, isn't she?
Yes, I'm married to a sister of a brother. Mother, sister, horse.
Now just please get dressed, Pamela. I need to get back to the House of Commons.
Mr. Willie?
Yes?
Well, I just thought you'd like to know that I just met Ronnie in the corridor. And we are going to be okay.
Great. Great. Now that was Jane. Now only put this on, Pamela, and go home.
No, I think I would rather like to stay here and meet Ivy.
Meet Ivy!
Well, to congratulate her.
But Ivy doesn't want to meet you. And I don't want you to meet Ivy either.
Why on earth not?
Because I didn't like her at all. I'm sorry, George, but I found her belligerent, bombastic, and totally without charm.
Well, I like her.
Richard, well, that wasn't a very nice thing to say.
Well, that's how Ivy struck me. She's bloody ugly, George.
Richard,
I'm a forthright man.
well, did you let Ivy know how you feel about her?
Most definitely, didn't I, George?
Yes, he said to her, Ivy, you're bloody ugly.
Well, no wonder the poor girl is hiding. Go and find her, George. And you go ahead. The Prime Minister will be getting impatient.
George, our situation has deteriorated somewhat.
Deteriorated? You don't know what you've done to me. What about poor Miss Foster?
She'll keep she's in the cupboard.
God knows what we are going to tell my mother.
Never mind your mother. Pamela won't leave until we produce Ivy.
Well, in that case, she's in for a hell of a long wait.
Wait a minute. We can produce Ivy.
How, for heaven's sake?
Miss Foster.
Oh, no. No.
If she is expected to make man and passion loud, she will be able to do anything.
Mr. Willie, don't you think you have ruined enough lives for one evening?
You know what, George? You go to the cupboard and tell Miss Foster what she's gonna do. The Prime Minister's waiting for me.
He's here to collect you.
Who is it?
It's your favorite waiter.
I got here as fast as I could.
Nobody called for you.
No, but I knew there was bound to be surprises or other. You need Mrs. Ivy Pigden, don't you?
How do you know that?
I was listening at the keyhole. Never mind, just close your eyes. Close your eyes. Ta-da!
Ah! What the hell is this?
This is your erstwhile chambermaid Maria.
What the hell are you talking about?
Mrs. Willie won't leave until she meets Mrs. Ivy Pigden. Well, meet Mrs. Ivy Pigden.
Get her out of here, please.
So, George, have you found... Oh, you're still here, Richard?
I thought I had him on for you, my precious.
Well, my precious, I told you I'll be over when I said hello to John Desire.
You see?
I told you she was both ugly. Say hello to Ivy.
Hello, Ivy.
And there you are. You said hello to Ivy.
I'd like you to say hello to Ivy.
But we have already said hello to Ivy.
What's going on, George?
Ask the wicker.
Who is that?
I'm not supposed to. No, supposed to.
They couldn't afford a matron of honor, so this was the second best choice.
You must be so thrilled, Ivy.
Ivy doesn't speak any English.
No English.
George, didn't you tell her?
I forgot.
Ivy's Spanish.
Ivy's Italian.
Half Spanish, half Italian.
So, you met her in Phoenix, no doubt?
Yes, on the beach.
She had swum from Venice.
Wait to take you back to Suite 650.
Yes, off we all go then.
I am sorry to interrupt whatever is going on in here. But if this room is not vacated within 5 minutes, I have a security officer in the corridor who will arrest all of you. And Mr. Pickens, when you leave, please do take your brother with you.
Yes, we are all going to Bert's wedding now.
Yes, the Pickens are potty about weddings.
Stop! And why do I keep finding you in here? Trouble?
Just lucky, I suppose.
What on earth are you doing here dressed like that, Maria?
It's Ivy Maria.
Why did Benito think I look like that?
Oh, it's an old Italian custom.
Mr. Willie, shall I continue to receive my emoluments from Miss Pigden?
Of course.
Then I think the monthly banker's order is the best thing.
Well, I don't know what I'm going to tell your mother about all this, Mr. Pigden.
Well, for a start, you could tell her I've met the woman I'm going to marry.
Oh, have you?
Yes, Nurse Foster.
And who is that, may I ask?
You.
Me.
Yes, you've been magnificent this evening.
Oh, have I?
Yes.
Well, I think you're pretty magnificent yourself.
What a woman.
Give her a kiss for God's sake!